And by the way, one last thing that I forgot to mention, this is based off of death mode stuff. So like, if you don't play death mode or anything and you're confused on what I'm talking about, it might be something that's like death mode or revengeance mode exclusive. So just keep in mind that this is at the highest difficulty possible, and this is, you know, Calamity and stuff. So King Slime, honestly, I actually feel like King Slime is harder than Desert Scourge in death mode, in my opinion. And the reason why I say that is because the crown jewel that fires at you is like really annoying, and it shoots like 3 balls instead of 1 now. So it's actually harder in my opinion. So I think it's like an alright fight. It's a huge, you know, slime because it like reduces size as you fight it. I'm gonna put it in like C tier, I guess. It's not really that crazy, but it's like, it's alright, I guess. I don't know. It's okay. It's nothing really crazy. Desert Scourge, on the other hand, I think that this one is literally like god tier. The reason why I say that is because it is like, I think this should be like the actual first vanilla boss because of how good this is. It has very clear weaknesses, and it's just like super simple, but also like, I don't know, it's just a great boss fight. And then you just use a piercing weapon, and then it also has the new burrow attack. So all you have to do is just like, I think before the burrow attack, it would be maybe like lower, it might be like an A tier, but because of the new burrow attack that like charges up and stuff like that, I think the boss fight's much more interesting. So I think this is an easy S for me. It's a warm boss, but it's still a really fun boss in my opinion, and like perfect for just like getting started and such. Eye of Cthulhu, I feel like this boss, in terms of normal Terraria, it's pretty good, and then with death mode, it's also pretty good as well. Let's see, it's kind of difficult. I feel like this definitely is like A or B tier in my opinion. I wouldn't say, I don't think it has S tier, but I think that the horizontal charges make the fight much more interesting in my opinion. And I remember when I was first trying to learn this, because I've never played, or I've never beaten vanilla Terraria, but I had no idea how to like, I was just super bad at the game, and so I didn't really understand how to like do the horizontal charges and how to like, you know, run away from the boss, as stupid as that sounds. So I definitely think that this is an easy like A to B. I'll put it in, I'm gonna go A tier for now, and then I think we'll see what happens when the list comes about. Crabulon, funny crab guy, rave theme, very good. Like, you can't really go wrong with this guy. I will say that the fight does feel a bit lackluster at times, and I feel like the loot is not that great. Like, I find myself kind of skipping him sometimes because I feel like I can go straight from Eye to like Brain or Eater of Worlds. The music is definitely something that is good. I feel like my problem, or one of the main problems with this boss, is the fact that you have to go and find a glowing mushroom biome, and I feel like that's honestly really inconvenient because they're very small, and sometimes it's really difficult that or to find the glowing mushroom biome. It does have the rage drop, which you guys mentioned here. It's not bad. I don't know. What do you guys think about Crab? What is the chat's decision on this? I feel like it's like a C. I say C or B. I could give like a C or B, to be honest. What are we feeling? I think that we're getting a lot of mixed responses. Let me see. Grab DC. Yeah, we're getting kind of the same. Let me see. I'd say C. I think I'm gonna give it a C only because of how inconvenient I feel like it can be. Just because, again, glowing mushrooms are those biomes are really small and hard to find, I feel like. And then also, just because the loot's not that great. The fight is fun, the song's great, I gotta give it that. So, I'll put it, I think it's above King Slime, but, I think it's a C tier. Hello, Terraria Pog. Braina Cthulhu, honestly, I'm not really a big fan of Brain. I'm not really about it. Like, it's not, like, bad, I guess, but the first phase is kind of like whatever, I feel like, because all you do is you just kind of like fire at the creepers. You just use like a piercing weapon. The first phase lasts like 10 seconds probably, and then the second phase is kind of just whatever. I don't know. I feel like I honestly kind of feel like Brain's D tier. I can't give it an F because the second phase is kind of like a redemption from the first phase, but like not by much. Yeah, D tier is it. Eater of Worlds, on the other hand, it's a worm boss. It does the splitting mechanics kind of cool. I can say that. The difficulty that we're doing, by the way, is death mode, just so that you guys know. D tier. I might feel like D tier is Eater of Worlds as well. I don't know. Like, I guess like it just kind of charges you. It has like the vile spit, and then it splits up and stuff like that. The scarf is nice. It does have good drops. And yeah, like Jester arrows will just take it out so easily. B. Favorite boss with the... Yeah. I think it's definitely above Brain. I think it's more interesting than Brain, but not by much. So I'm gonna do D tier, but above Brain. I reckon inoffensive bosses like Eater of Worlds belong in C. They're more forgettable. Yeah, you might be right. I'm trying to think. Because like I don't really think. Okay, actually, I think that Eater of Worlds is definitely more memorable than Braina Cthulhu in my opinion. Like, but Braina Cthulhu like is really forgettable in my opinion. Like I feel like I really don't care about him that much. Eater of Worlds is a little bit more interesting in my opinion. Okay, I think that's where that belongs. Oh gosh. Hive thing. S tier, we thinking? Oh yeah, I like the song. I know people say that the song's bad or like that it's like too much. I don't know. I think the song's really good. The new logo, by the way, is really good. I saw your banner, by the way, Radium, and it was awesome as well. So I like the stuff that you got going on. Green has better drops. I'm kind of stuck on this one. I feel like this boss is actually pretty difficult when you fight it, at least for me. Like, I feel like it poses a pretty significant threat. And then I feel like the fight's fairly interesting. I think that it's decently difficult. Like, it actually gave me a lot of trouble. I feel like B tier is where it belongs, in my opinion. It's either B or A, I think. Is it on par with Eye of Cthulhu? It is pretty unique, to be fair. And I feel like it's actually really... I think it's an A tier. I think it's A tier, honestly. It is a hard fight. Before the changes where it's like... It used to make it so that the projectiles were more random. But now that it's like evenly scattered out, I feel like that honestly makes it a lot harder, in my opinion. Because you could like manipulate kind of like where the projectiles go. But now it's like you're just even all the time. I think A is... it caused me a lot of problems as well. And then... Yeah, it caused me a lot of problems. The drops are pretty good. It's an interesting theme. Yeah. Yeah, like, I probably died to it 67 times in my first playthrough, to be honest. And I wasn't even, you know, in Armageddon. Yeah, I think the theme, like, really fits it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's probably not, like, my cup of tea usually, but it just, the way that it looks matches the theme very well. And yes, this is going to be death mode, by the way. Let me fix that real fast. Alright, let's see. Alright, so Hive Mind has the Braina Cthulhu problem, I feel like, where the first phase is absolutely boring and just whatever. I feel like you literally just go through the first phase within like seconds because, I mean, it's just sitting there doing nothing. I think it has like the little minions that fire stuff at you, but it's so easy to dodge. And then it fires like occasional, or it has like some minions that spawn. Hive Mind first phase is very boring. Second phase though, it does kind of make up for it, I feel like. And yeah, we're counting Calamity mod music extra as well. I think it's definitely above Braina Cthulhu. I think it might. I'm debating between these two positions. I don't know. Do we think it's better than King Slime or worse than King Slime? If it wasn't for the first phase, I think they would be very, very easy. Thinking better, worse, below. We're very torn here. Better. I think that the second phase just carries it too much, in my opinion. I think it does. Yeah. I think that without this, the second phase is interesting enough to make the fight actually enjoyable, but the first phase might as well not exist, in my opinion. Queen Bee, honestly, it's really nothing special. I feel like... Yeah? Can we agree on that? I don't really think I need much else to say. I don't think there's really anything to say about this one. I feel like the fight is very just like, you know, it's just like charges, and then you got the stingers, and then it summons bee minions. I don't know. It's really... Okay, I think I'm okay with where it's at right now. I think I can live with that. We have Skeletron here. Now, with Death Mode, he does have 4 arms, or like 4, yeah, limbs or whatever, so that's kind of the difference. It is a long fight, to be fair. The fight isn't really too special. It's kind of just... I almost feel like there's really not a big difference between the 4-arm fight versus the 2-arm fight, because all you do is you just circle, really. The teleporting isn't bad. Teleporting isn't the worst thing in the world, though. It does have like the little bolt thing that it fires here and there whenever it teleports. Let me think. What's up, Zol? Let's see. So, I don't know how I feel. Is it... Okay, I'm trying to think. So, is Crabulon more interesting... Or is Skeletron more interesting than Crabulon? So this ranking is about enjoyability, difficulty, and impact. So does the boss... Like, is the boss memorable? Is the boss hard? And is it interesting? It's kind of boring. Better than Crab. I think I could get better than Crab. I think... Let's see. Okay, we're thinking B. I'm trying to think. I think only because... yeah, I'll give it a B. I think I could give it a B. Slime God. This is an easy, like, A or S in my opinion. The thing is like, this is like the first place I think that people get really stuck in this mod. Like, this is a very big difficulty spike in my opinion. I think that A or S is easy in my opinion. The debuffs that gives you whenever you get hit are interesting. They can really mess you up, the confusion and stuff like that. I'm trying to think. I think it's an S. I don't think... Ooh, is it better than Desert Scourge, though? And I agree the core is annoying to hit. The song's good as well. Are we thinking... Okay, let's see. Yeah, you're right. I think you guys are right. I think that it is better. Wall of Flesh, I'm sorry, but this boss is just awful. I am not a fan of this boss at all. Like, this boss fight is just laser spam, and like, it's memorable, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's just so annoying, I guess, because of the arena prep, and then it's just like with the no hit, at least that I did, it was just like you just dash, and then like there's just a consistent pattern that you do for like hours and hours on end, and that's like the entire fight. And then like, you know, he charges. I don't know. I really don't think that like after low D I think is fair. I think he's less interesting than Queen Bee. Like I think he's actually pretty bad. I think the only thing that carries him is the fact that he's like the, you know, like he's like a really important boss in like vanilla Terraria, and that he activates hard mode. But beyond that, it's like the attacks are like uninteresting, and it's just kind of like, it's very like lackluster in my opinion. Like if he was just like an ordinary boss, like if you fought him before Queen Bee, or like at Queen Bee, if these guys were like swapped, for example, and hard mode activated on Queen Bee instead, I think that would actually be probably better, because he's just uninteresting in my opinion. I don't know, I just find like the laser mechanic and stuff like that, like I just think that there needs to be more going on in the fight, and I just find the fight to be very, very boring. Okay, Cryogen, first hard mode boss. It has an NPC that drops from him. It has fairly interesting attacks. I think that it's an easy A tier. I think that it's actually right here. The visuals are great. I think it doesn't have like a unique spawn-in animation as well. Like, doesn't it have kind of like a Providence style, like spawn-in animation, if I'm not mistaken. It also has the derping out phase. So like the fight goes from like a little like, I don't know, dodge fest to a dashing thing. Yeah, I think he looks awesome. I will say in the past, my main thing with it has been sometimes the projectiles are kind of hard to see, but I do think it's a really good fight, and it's interesting. It has like the little blizzard bombs that it drops. Good night, Heart Plus Up. Yeah, the projectiles can be kind of annoying to see. I don't really blame you on that. But like, in the end, like when it starts dashing and stuff like that, like I definitely didn't expect that. Yeah, during the night is when you want to fight him, because it's much easier to see. It's the only, yeah, and it's also one of the only snow biome bosses too. I think those are pretty rare. Alright, Stellatron Prime. It has... What are the changes to Skeletron Prime in Death Mode? Does anyone know at the top of their head? Because I'm not super familiar. As far as the boss fight goes, it has like the little spitty head attack that it does every now and then. It also has the charging one. I actually like this fight a lot. I don't think it's super crazy, but like, yeah, the rotating phase, the head, and then the head, it has like a lot of lasers and missiles. It fires more skulls. I think B tier is about where it goes. I think it's better than Skeletron, of course, and then... Yeah, I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world. I think that it's a decently fun fight, but it's nothing like too crazy. Okay, now Destroyer. Now, I know that you're saying that it can be cheesed, but because we're in Death Mode, that's not the case. So Destroyer in Death Mode is a whole different story. This boss gets the fattest F possible. This boss sucks. It is so uninteresting. At least from my opinion, like, some people like it. I'd like that the probes don't deal contact damage. That's a good thing. But like, no hitting this boss or just fighting this boss feels like pure RNG. Like, I feel like it is just... I've seen people take 400 attempts to no hit this, and I did it in like 30. It's just... I feel like there's no consistent laser pattern. Like Astrum Arius, for example, he has like an actual laser pattern that is easy to follow, or like there's like a way that it works. But to me, like, this boss is just really poorly designed. I don't think I can blame Calamity for it. I just think that like it is just the vanilla version of this boss just sucks, and yeah, it's just very uninteresting. I think one of the most important things about bosses for me is there needs to be like an actual strategy to like attack patterns. And I feel like this doesn't have that. It's just, you kind of just hope that like lasers just don't hit you. And yeah. Yeah, I agree. Vanilla is way too easy and Calamity is way too hard. The twins, I think the twins are honestly like B or A in my opinion. I think that it's relatively interesting, pretty hard fight. I think high A is definitely where it belongs. I don't know if it's better than, I think it's worse than Cryogen, better than Cthulhu. It also, if I'm not mistaken, it has like new attacks. Like once they're at like 10% or something like that, they start to like fire like projectiles and stuff and charge more rapidly and are much more angry. Yeah, the third phase. Yeah, exactly. I think that that's definitely where it belongs. I don't think it's as good as Cryo, but I definitely think that it's a good fight. Aquatic Scourge. It has the lingering projectiles. It fires like the little sandblast here and there, and it does the spin thing. It's a worm boss. Worm bosses are usually really tough to like do. The biggest weakness is obviously like piercing and stuff like that. Do we feel, I'm like debating between like right here. Does this seem about right to you guys? Do you feel like this is something we can agree on? Or do we think that he belongs somewhere else? We're thinking C maybe? No really unique attacks. Maybe not B. What do you think? Okay, wait, is it more interesting than Crapulon? I think top is C. Would that be fair? I don't think it's the most interesting boss, but I think it's interesting enough. I think a lot of people are torn on this, to be honest. I'm actually really torn. It's feasible. The one thing I will say is that this boss fight, like, you can literally do, like, probably, like, 15% of the boss fight within, like, or, like, do 15% damage within, like, the first, like, 10 seconds if you have, like, the right gear. So it's really fast fight, but I do think the fight's very hectic. The longer it goes on, the more crazy it gets because of the lingering projectiles. He's not super forgettable, but I think I like where he's at right now. I think he's more important than Crabulon, but not as good as these guys up here. Brimstone Elemental is pretty good, I'd say. Let's see. I like the new attack with like the laser that splits into like more stuff. Like it splits into the little projectiles. Let me see. A lot of interesting. We're saying S tier. We're saying B, F, high B. Oh, wait, let me think. So it has the cocoon, and it fires like the blast. It has the laser attack, and it has the like one where it like kind of follows you around and then shoots the occasional blast. I will say that the biome doesn't really get used other than the fight. Like after you defeat her, I don't think that you really return to it very often. And I do think that, yeah, you're right. The RNG is there because like I've had some bad experiences with this during no hits. I think it's more interesting than Aquatic Scourge and Skeletron. I think that's where it belongs. I don't think it's as good as Skeletron Prime, but I think it's better than Skeletron and more interesting than these guys. I'll have to come back. I'll make sure to come back and like we can like go over everything and make sure that like we're finalized here. This is actually something that I'm really torn on. Clomitas is something that I feel like it's kind of a Twins clone, but my problem with it is I feel like the phases when it's not, like when it's just Clomitas, for example, I feel like it's a very boring fight. Let's see. The sprite is pretty cool. I can give it that. I like the brothers phases, like when the brothers and sister, when the brothers are there. Not as cal. Hey, just because of the music, my basic thing. Hey, good luck on the no hit on PBG. That's a hard one. Yeah, this is normal cal, by the way. This is not S cal. Yeah, you are right. I guess you do return to Brimstone biome for Providence. I don't think it's as good as the twins. I think like right here. I think right there is about where it belongs. I don't... Wait a second. That sound... I think I can go with that. I can go with that. I feel like... I don't think it's as fun as the twins. Like, I don't think it's as interesting as the twins. I actually think the twins are better. But I do like the phase when both of them are in the same spot. Or in the, when they're both actually active. I think it's fun. But when it's just her, for example, it's pretty boring. Plantera, honestly, nothing really special. It has, like, the spore clouds, and then it has the tentacle phase. Like right there. I think that it's not really as interesting as Aquatic Scourge, but more interesting than Crabulon. You kind of just circle the entire time. And it doesn't really change much. I think that's like a really good spot for it, in my opinion. Leviathan and Anita, this boss fight is actually really interesting. I definitely think it's ARS tier. I think it's ARS for sure. Like, Leviathan's really cool, Anita's really cool. It's a duo boss fight. A cool place, the ocean. You know, you fight Anita first, and then eventually Leviathan comes in, and then you fight both of them. I think that S tier, yeah. And then, honestly, yeah. I think that it's the best so far, actually. Like, I think that the fight is interesting, it's challenging, it has good value, and it's impactful. Like, I mean, you don't need to fight him, but... I don't know, I'm getting mixed reviews right now. What are we saying? I feel like it's a fun fight, but maybe D at best, respectable? I don't know. Loot-wise, it's pretty bad. What are we feeling here? A tier at best. Respectable. Actually, I think you might be right. I don't know if it's the most memorable boss. Okay. I think I'm going with this for now, but we'll come back to this later. We have Astrum Arius, who astral biome first boss. It has like a stomp down attack. The lasers, the little like comments that it fires are really annoying. So let me think. Lasers, comment, and like the stomp down. I don't really think. Yeah, I don't know. I think I could do B or C. I think it might be better than... I think it's better than Prime. Or wait, no. Wait a second. That's better. I think I could go with that. And I think Brimmy is definitely ahead of Skeletron Prime, in my opinion. I think that that's about where it belongs. Golem. Honestly, Golem is kind of just very whatever, in my opinion. It's better, but like better than vanilla, but at the same time, it's really not that great. I think D, like right here. I think it's high D tier. I think that it's like, it's alright, but it's really not like that memorable. And honestly, I kind of don't like fighting him. I actually find him really annoying, if anything. Plaguebringer Goliath. This one is a love-hate to me. I feel like the song for one is really good. I can give you that. The charges are kind of cool. It's kind of like a Queen Bee deal. Second phase isn't too shabby either. It's interesting, but it's kind of just like Queen Bee with some extra steps. Oh yeah, you want to make sure to fight her in Underground, otherwise you're gonna have a really bad time. I'm gonna say... I'm really in debate. Can we get over that? Is that okay? I think he's more interesting than Queen Bee above Space Crab. Yeah, I could give above Space Crab, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's about where it belongs. That is not okay. I'm not happy about it, but it should be higher. Okay, we'll go over this again. Don't worry. This is not finalized. Duke Fishron. This is, to me, I liked this type of boss in my opinion, and I actually really struggled with it. And then now that I like learned it, I actually really dislike fighting it. I'm gonna go with A. I'm gonna go like right here. I don't think it's as fun or as good as Leviathan, but I don't feel like it is I don't think it's worse than Cryogen. And no, Astral Slime is not in this. I actually haven't fought him. The reason why I like Desert Scourge so much is because I think it's a very, like, it's like the perfect first boss. It has clear weaknesses, and I think it's just really like, I don't know, I just figure it's like the perfect first boss for the game. Like, I feel like it should be like the first vanilla boss in my opinion. That's my opinion, at least. Ravager, honestly, it's just Golem, but with extra steps. It has like the thing where it like gets rid of your flight time and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan. Like, I think it's better than Golem, but like I honestly don't like Ravager that much. I feel like it's kind of a pain, and drops are kind of whatever, kind of forgettable, I feel like sometimes. I think I'm okay with where it belongs right now. Lunatic Cultist, honestly, it's alright. It just fires a ton of projectiles and stuff like that. It's not like super interesting. The visuals are cool. It's not a, like, I think it's alright. I think better than Crabulon? I think maybe better than Crab, worse than Plantera. Hard no? What are we feeling? Worse than Crab. Better than Hive Mind for sure. Okay. After Crab. Bumbleburb is right here. This is Dragon Folly. It's a new sprite. After Crab. Okay, I'm gonna stick with it for now, and we'll see what happens there. Deuce, in my opinion, is kinda not really that great. Basically, there's two worms. They basically function as like two Aquatic Scourges, to be honest. It's not bad, but it's not really that great. It's like, the drops aren't really that great. The fight is kind of whatever. It has like the mines, the lasers. It just charges you. I'm in debate. I feel like it's above Aquatic Scourge. Is that fair? Can we get around that? The fragment, like, I do think the drops are bad, but I think the fight is all right. I'm thinking either like before Skeletron or after Scourge. I'm down for highest C. Or actually, only because Aquatic Scourge's drops are actually useful, I feel like. This just gives you fragments and stuff like that, so nothing really that crazy in my opinion. And yeah, Microwave's kind of cool though. Okay, Moonlord. I don't really like Moonlord in general, in my opinion. I don't like the fight. Like, I feel like it's kind of bad. Like, I don't think it's a bad, like, it's a cool idea. And I know that it's like supposed to be like, you know, it's supposed to be like this crazy fight. And it's like the final boss of Vanilla. I think B is fair. I think that I'm in debate between these two positions. Do we want after Brimmy or before Brimmy? What are we feeling here? Okay, we're getting a lot of after. Okay. We'll go with after then. Oh, we're getting before now. Hold on. I think that it's more interesting than Brimmy, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with this one for now. Profane Guardians, this fight is bad. This fight is very forgettable, and honestly, it's like, I don't know. It's just not that great. The drops are not interesting. I don't think you really get anything special. It's just like, the only thing that carries this, I think, is the fact that it's in the Providence fight. Like, when you have these together, that's great. But when you don't, it's just like, they only exist. Exactly. Like, I don't feel like they really unlock anything. I feel like they're more of a mini boss, to be honest. I don't know. Like, I think that, like, it's either F or, like, D. I think I could go with a D. I think it's... maybe right there. I think either before or after Queen Bee. Like... Like, they're cool, but I feel like, I don't know, just very forgettable. Like, if it wasn't for Providence, I probably wouldn't even think about them at all. And they are so easy as well. Dragon Folly. Oh wait, you're right, but they don't even have good drops. Okay, I'm going with that. Don't get me wrong, like, Queen Bee is not fun, but these guys don't really drop anything useful, like, at all, I feel like. I don't currently need an editor. Thank you for asking that. Dragon Folly. Let's see. Dragon Folly does indeed exist. It's kind of like Queen Bee. Okay, I think that it belongs in C tier somewhere, but I'm not really sure where. I think it might be like here. I think that the fight's decent. It has like the spears, and then it has like the little like laser, like the or not, it's like tornadoes, but it's more of like a laser beam instead. So it's like it prepares you for Yaron basically. It's a pretty hard fight. The drops I think are kind of bad actually, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember at the top of my head, but I think that I'm gonna go high C. I'm gonna go high C. I think it's actually more interesting than Aquatic Scourge. All right, Providence. I have been waiting for this one. Providence, in my opinion, is like great. Like, I do think that the fight is a little bit long and repetitive, but it's really fun. The double fight thing is cool. It's a bullet hell, which I really do like as well. I think it's either A or S. I think it's either lower S, or I think it's either going to be the highest S we have right now, or it's going to be the highest A. Better than that. Yeah. The sprite's amazing. It has a good spawn animation. The oh, it also has a nighttime variant. Drops are good. Yeah, it's an easy S, I think. All right, Ceaseless Void. I'm not a fan. I don't really have much else to say. I feel like the how you have to wait every time after you like do the orbs, you have to like wait a few seconds. It's a weird fight. It takes place in the dungeon, and building an arena sucks, and just like it's kind of just a pain. Like it sucks. Like, I understand, like, it's not like a necessarily bad fight, but I just don't think that it's like my thing. Like, building an arena sucks. I actually think you might be right. I think I might actually want to fight Destroyer rather than Ceaseless Void. I actually think it might be the worst boss so far. It does make the Poltergeist arena, to be fair. Wall of Flesh is an F tier because it's a very repetitive fight that doesn't really have anything interesting going on in it besides just laser spam. And it can be very easily abused. I think I'm going to go for Ceaseless to be the worst so far. Stormweaver isn't really much better, in my opinion. It's a worm, it shoots lightning, it charges at you, it's in space. Yeah? I don't know. I feel like it has like two mechanics, which is the lightning and the charge. It's kind of whatever. You kind of just circle it. And it is a very easy fight. Cygnus, on the other hand, I actually think this is the most fun Sentinel there is. It's also partially based on the profile pick thing. Saying D tier maybe. I think it's the most interesting Sentinel. It has a good drop. It has the Cosmo... What is it called? Or no, it's not a Cosmo. Guidelight of Oblivion. That's a really cool sentry. I think that... Can we agree on that? I think it's better than Skeletron, but worse than Astrum. Oh yeah, the Cosmo Lamp too, yeah. Sprite's pretty cool. Yeah, the charge is pretty bad. PBG is in B tier because it's like Queen B, basically, just with like some different charges here and there. I'm back. You didn't miss too much, I don't think. It's just we're debating. We're in deep debate right now. I think that Old Duke is pretty good. I think that let me see. I think the fight's good. It is kind of, I mean, it has like the dash prediction, which I think is really cool. I definitely think it's above Duke Fisheron. It is kind of copy paste though. It is like yeah, I mean, the spawning method does suck. I can give you that. I think that the spawning method sucks really bad. I think that they're trying to fix it, I think. I think that's actually one of the things that they're going to work on. What's up, Toxic Circles? I like... Hello, Radium. At this point, I don't know if people are saying Radium referring to me or Radium referring to actual Radium. I'm gonna put him right here. I think that he's still fun to fight. The spawn in method sucks. The fight is interesting, but he can be kind of forgettable. I don't think that the drops are like the... I don't think the drops are the greatest. It can be skipped, but the fight is fun. I think that's a fair spot. I do think it's better than the twins, but not as good as Cryo. If it had a better spawn-in method, I think that it could beat Duke Fisheron, but not be as good as Leviathan. And the dash prediction is a really cool mechanic that I do like. Poltergeist. What are we feeling here? It's basically Calamity's version of Plantera. So we have... let's see... I like the two boss mechanic kind of the thing that it has, where it has I don't know, it's I forget the name of it, but where it kind of like splits up and then you have like two things dashing at you rather than one. He's not like super interesting, but like I think right there is where he belongs. Yeah, Necroplasm, thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for the correction there. I think that that's where he belongs. He's alright. I mean, he's not really the craziest thing, but like... I don't know. I think that the Necroplasm is cool. Third phase is definitely where the fight shines in, but other than that, it's basically just Plantera. Devourer of Gods. I will say that this fight is fun, but phase 1, in my opinion, at least the last time that I fought it, was an absolute joke. Like, phase 2 is good, but phase 1, if I'm not mistaken, they might have changed this, but I feel like you could stand still and not get hit by it because it just doesn't really threaten you. I don't know why. The fight in phase 2, though, is awesome. Phase 1 is boring. Phase 2 is great. So it kind of has like the hive mind or the Braina Cthulhu problem, I'd say. I'm going to put it in S only because phase 2 carries it that much. The song is great. The mechanic with the one shot is also pretty cool. I don't think it's as good as Providence. If phase 1 was fun, then it would be better than Providence. But phase 1 is just kind of like, you just DPS race it, and you kind of just sit there, and then phase 2 starts, and then that's the actual fight. I saw that they're removing the one shot. I don't know. I think I'm gonna miss that just a little bit, to be honest. I actually like that mechanic. I feel like it really punishes you for making like simple mistakes, but I don't know. That's just me. All right, Yaron, Duke Fisheron, basically. Tornadoes are fun. Fireballs, double phase, amazing song in both phases. Phase 2 is like the best song ever. I feel like. I think that this easily goes right there. I suck at this fight, but I still love it. The tornadoes are awesome. You have to be like, you have like great items, great mobility at this point. You just like, it's just perfect. Like this fight is just wonderful. It's like Duke Fisheron. The charges are unique. You have to there's 2 different like fights that you have to memorize because you have phase 1, which has different charge timings and stuff like that. Like everything's just very different. So I think that this is definitely where it belongs. Okay, this is the final thing, the thing that we've all been waiting for here, okay? Where do we think that Escal belongs? That's not where I wanted her to go. I can't get her back down. Well, she doesn't belong in F tier, I'll tell you that. But where do we think that she belongs? The music is great. The fight is very fun. It's very tough as well. The difficulty is there. It's very, like, I mean, it's very, like, iconic, you know? I think that this is where I want to put it. That fight, it is very fun. It's like a lot of projectiles, obviously. It's very like fast-paced. It's very reaction based. Like this is a fight that you could have a strategy for, but it's not like something that you can be super consistent with. Like I feel like it's not consistent enough to just be able to like I don't know. I feel like no matter how many times you fight this, you're never going to be able to do it consistently, completely. Below Providence? The only reason why... I'm trying to think. Escal is below Providence? The only... I don't know. I feel like Escal has more interesting stuff going on than Providence, in my opinion. I think that this is pretty good. I think... Okay, let's see. Night Providence is pretty cool. Okay, I think I like the S tier quite a lot. I think I'm pretty okay with this. So, F tier, I feel pretty... saying Twins deserve to be higher. Better than Old Duke. Yes, I agree. Like, all the Calamity themes are absolutely amazing, to be fair. Okay, so are there any ones that anybody strongly disagree with anything on here? Do we feel like there's anything that's like, I'm robbing somebody of this? Anything strong disagree? Okay, so... let me see. Okay, so Desert Scourge is high because I feel like it's a perfect first boss, in my opinion. Like, I feel like it has clear weaknesses, and then, the biome is very good as well. Like, the Sunken Sea unlock is really good. I feel like it's pretty iconic. And then, I don't know, I feel like it's, like, better than King Slime, in my opinion, in terms of, like, So this is going to be based off of the following factors. Give me 1 second here. It's based off of enjoyability, so is the boss fight interesting and a fun experience, or is it quite forgettable? Difficulty, so does the boss pose a unique challenge to the player that challenges them at the point that they fight it for the first time? And then impact, does the boss have a meaningful impact on gameplay? Would the game not be the same without it, or can it be removed or skipped without really missing out on much? Thank you, Obama. It does die pretty quickly, that's fair. Yeah, it is the first boss. It also unlocks the Sunken Sea. I don't know, I feel like it's very... it's like a very just like simple boss, but I think it's like just right. Like, I feel like it's right where it needs to be in terms of like difficulty, progression, and everything else. Hive Mind went so low because of the first phase. The second phase is actually really fun, but the first phase is really boring. PBG... okay, I actually think that Skeletron Prime needs to be moved, in my opinion. I don't know where to, though. I think Skeletron Prime needs to be moved somewhere, but I'm not really sure just where. How do we feel about that? Because this is so difficult, actually. It's such a hard decision to do, because like Skeletron is better than Skelly Prime with changes to the fight death. I think I'm just gonna keep it. I think that this is it. Like, I'm stuck. Lowest B. I think it's better than Skeletron, though. Move Astrum Arius down a bit. What are we thinking? Where is he? Where'd he go? Oh. Cygnus versus Astrum. Yeah, Polter has good unlocks. I think unlock-wise, it definitely beats. I think I can give it that. I think the unlocks definitely do it. This isn't necessary for progression. Only because this boss... Or is he necessary? No, I don't... Oh, no, he is necessary for progression, actually. Oh, the last Perforator Worm is the worst. No, the progression importance does not save it. I think that if it wasn't for that, that boss... That's the only reason why the boss is high F, basically. I think this is about where I stand. I feel like... Let me just, like, look through everything real fast one last time and make sure that we're finalized. Okay, so... Ceaseless... Destroyer is the absolute worst, and the reason why I say that is just because every boss should have, like, fair play, and I don't think that Destroyer has fair play, at least in death mode. Because it's an RNG fest. Ceaseless, not really good. I don't like... Just the fight is kind of... Ceaseless... Yeah, Destroyer is very, very cringe. Deuce should be higher. Let me see. Deuce should be higher. So we're thinking that Deuce should be higher. Let me see. We got 2 worms with mines and lasers versus 1 worm with sand projectiles, spinny attack. That's easy. I don't think it's better than Dragon Volley, though. I think that it deserves 1 spot up, but not anymore. I don't think it beats these 2 guys. Plantera. I think I might be able to move Plantera 1 up, because this fight you circle a lot as well. But this, they're so similar. I suck at making, me too, man. I suck at making decisions too. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this. I think this is the final thing. I feel mostly confident with everything, but it's really difficult. I feel like I could spend hours going over this, but both of them, like, I don't know. I feel like most of this is pretty fair.